Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing happy, amazing and positive. Before I started with today's video, I wanted to let you guys know about a small business called Luna Related. Luna Related is an online store that sells crystals, jewelry, sage, essential oils, things like that that's really good for the spiritual health. I wanted to show you guys a few bits and pieces that I got from them just very recently. So the first thing is this little pouch, and this is going to be so perfect to hold my little crystals. I go to like full moon rituals and things like that ever so often, so I do need a little bag to put my crystals in. So this is the perfect little pouch to fit all my little crystals in and just take it along with me. I also ordered two of my very favorite crystals. I know I say this about every crystal, like every crystal is my favorite, but seriously, every time I see these, I just fall in love. I got this clear crystal tower, which I got from the online store, so you can purchase this off their website. And I also got this dream amethyst, which purple is my favorite color, so this is just so perfect. Then I also got this mat. Sometimes I do like oracle free readings on my Instagram, so if you do want a free reading, I do offer them once a month during the full moon. Please follow me on Instagram and you can get a free reading from me. But this is a mat that I'm going to be using to do the reading, so I'm going to place the cards on this mat. Be sure to check out Luna Related. I also do have a discount code, which is Aisha10 for 10% off at the checkout. So today's video is going to be about polycystic ovarian syndrome. September is Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome Awareness Month, so I thought what better month to post about this than September. I'm going to be referring to polycystic ovarian syndrome as Pcos, which is a much easier way to say it. So what is polycystic ovarian syndrome, or Pcos? Pcos is a hormonal imbalance that causes to grow small cysts on the ovaries. The cysts can range from about 10 small cysts on each ovaries to literally like 40 or 50. Polycystic, so poly means many cysts. This is a condition that affects millions of women around the world. It is said that about 1 in every 10 women have this, so you can kind of get a grasp of how common it is. Women with Pcos have a higher level of testosterone, and this often comes with a lot of other symptoms. So what are the symptoms? The symptoms are excessive facial hair and body hair. Also, one symptom that I've found is that sometimes you lose a lot of hair as well. Another symptom is acne, rapid weight gain or slow weight loss, depression, mood changes, pain, infertility, diabetes if the diet is poor, irregular periods or no periods at all, and thyroid disorder. Because women with Pcos have kind of like this insulin resistance, and you have to lower your sugar levels. So if you're not doing that, it can cause diabetes and other diseases as well, with the heart, cardiovascular disease, just a range of really unwanted things. What causes polycystic ovarian syndrome? This is the really frustrating thing about Pcos, and you know, a lot of women face the same frustration. No one has any idea what actually causes it, and there's really no way of preventing it from happening to you. People with a really healthy lifestyle can also get it, so it's really annoying knowing that, you know, we just have it and we just have to deal with it because there's no real way to reduce it. Hi, baby. So doctors, don't really know where it comes from. There's nothing that you can really do to lower the risk of getting polycystic ovarian syndrome. It just happens. This can cause a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration. Even when you go to the doctor, sometimes you want to ask these questions and you can just tell that they don't really know. By the way, my cat loves to be in my videos recently. When you go to a doctor about something, you kind of expect to get the answers and get the education of what's going on. Even specialists, But even then, it's really unclear. You can't really get proper direct answers. How do you get tested? There are a few forms of tests that you can do to know whether you have it, and that's x-rays, blood tests, internal examination, and pretty much just letting the doctor know your symptoms. How to cure polycystic ovarian syndrome? You can't. It's incurable. There's nothing out there that can really do it, because there is a chance that it will always come back. The only things that you can really do is either go on the pill or go on anti-diabetic medication, which is for you to obviously prevent diabetes. But I don't like all the medication and all those things, so I resort to the natural ways of doing it, and that is to eat healthier, reduce white carbs, reduce, you know, bad food, junk food, fried foods. I mean, it's not that you have to completely cut it out, it's just that you have to reduce the amount that you eat. And also exercise is a big one, just overall healthy lifestyle changes, and this will kind of get rid of the cysts, but it doesn't mean that they won't come back. My story, I wanted to kind of give you guys that little bit of education about it, just so that there's a little bit more of like an understanding, especially if you've just been newly diagnosed or you're just a little bit curious about Pcos. My story is that in 2017, I started noticing symptoms that didn't seem quite right to me, that did not seem normal. I started to gain a lot of weight. And the thing with that was that I didn't change my diet. I wasn't eating more unhealthily. I wasn't eating more healthily, like it was just the same diet. And I was gaining weight. I don't normally indulge every day in like junk food and stuff like that. So it was weird that I was gaining weight so rapidly. And I started noticing that my periods were very, very irregular. And there was one point where I didn't get my period for like 3 to 4 months. And then, of course, I got it on my 21st birthday. But yeah, for that first 3 months of 2017, I did not get my period. This was one thing that kind of felt a bit normal to me, because I already had quite irregular periods from when I first got my period. So I just thought it was one of those things where it was irregular, but I didn't know that I actually had Pcos. I was facing more body hair, facial hair, like under here I would find there was a lot more facial hair. And I noticed that even if I did laser, it wasn't reducing the hair, and that's because there's a hormonal imbalance. So it's a lot harder to get rid of the hair even with laser. Another symptom that I had was trying to lose the weight, and it was really hard to lose weight. Even if I was exercising like 5 days a week, I was trying to eat healthy, stuff like that, I just was not losing the weight. In fact, I felt like I was gaining weight than losing it. I had mood changes. This is when I started noticing a lot of mood changes. I would feel like I kind of had like no motivation. I had like down days, and there was like no reason why I had these down days. I just felt down. There's times where you just kind of like don't even feel like getting up out of bed. You have no motivation, things like that. I would get pain also without even being on my period, like I would get cramping. So I went to a dietitian and I let her know that I was trying to lose weight and I wasn't able to lose weight for some reason. And she pretty much told me that I'm eating too many carbs, which were like, you know, like lentils and stuff like that. She was telling me to cut out all these things that were actually quite healthy for me, and I don't eat meat. So lentils and things are what I rely on to get all my nutrients. And she was pretty much telling me to cut all this stuff out, and I was like, no, like this is just unbelievable. I'm not going to cut out lentils and beans and stuff like that because I need that in my body. I did listen to her for the first like 3 weeks and I still noticed no changes. So this is when I said to myself, I need to go to the doctors. So I went to the doctors and I pretty much told her all the symptoms I had, and she was like, oh, you know, just diet and exercise and, you know, you should be fine. You know, because I told her the main symptom was weight gain, and she was literally just telling me to like lose weight. And I'm like, no, I've been to the dietitian, I've had all of that and nothing is working. And I did my own research luckily before I went to this doctor, and the annoying thing was that I had to tell her that I had Pcos. I said to her, no, I've seen all the symptoms online and I'm pretty certain that I have Pcos. And she's like, oh yeah, that could be one too. And I was like, aren't you supposed to tell me this? You're the doctor. Anyway, so I asked her to give me a referral to get an ultrasound and an internal examination and a blood test, and I did, and obviously they came back positive. And this was really, really hard for me to hear that it was, you know, confirmed. One thing I really love are kids, and one major symptom that comes along with Pcos is infertility. And I really was just kind of shocked because I want kids and I never wanted it to be hard for me to conceive. So I kind of had to accept the reality that maybe down the line it will be difficult for me to have a child. So when I went back to the doctors to get my results, she pretty much said that I had 19 cysts on each ovaries, and she said that is a lot of cysts, and ovaries are quite small, so having 19 on each ovaries is a lot. I mean, some women do have it way worse. So she put me on this medication called diaformin or metformin, more commonly known as. So this kind of prevents you from getting diabetes. She told me to take like 4 a day. She's like, yeah, you know, you will lose weight with this medication as well. And it did nothing for me. And this was the annoying thing, is that, you know, they didn't really tell me about nutrients. So just like, take this medication and that's it. So when I first got diagnosed in 2018, I was just still kind of poor with my diet because, you know, this doctor had told me that taking these tablets will help me lose weight. So in my head, I was like, okay, well, if I have tablets that are going to help me lose weight, I don't really need to start eating healthy because the pills are going to do the work for me. So I, you know, took these tablets for like a couple months and I still noticed no changes at all. So I went back to another doctor and he told me, like, why are you taking 4? They actually make you gain weight. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is too much. Ditch the medication and start dieting and exercising. So last year in 2019, I really decided to do a lifestyle change. And I was kind of wishy-washy with that though. I had an office job. I was always sitting down. There's always like office parties or people bringing in food. So I was eating all this like bad food. And I realized I actually gained weight. So when I quit that job in October of 2019, I decided this year, January 2020, was the year I was going to lose weight. So I went on a 3-week program, and if you look back to a video that I did like early this year, I talk about losing weight and how I did it. So I talk about the 3-week program in there, and a lot of the changes included like really cut down on sugars. I don't even take sugars in my teas and coffees anymore. I usually just go in with a little bit of sweetener. Also, I cut out like soft drinks. I didn't really drink soft drinks anyway. I cut out a lot of carbs, so no white bread, no rice, things like that. I do sometimes eat like brown rice and that kind of like grains. I also cut out like a lot of Indian food because Indian food does have a lot of like carbs and a lot of oils and just unnecessary fats. But I do eat like curries that are just vegetables if it's cooked in a more healthy way. But majority of the time I do mainly eat like salads with lots of cucumbers and capsicums and roasted like cauliflower and zucchini, stuff like that. So I make the salad really, really nice and fun. I know that some people find the salad really, really boring and tasteless, but there are ways that you can make really good salads. And also I cut out obviously like a lot of fried food and deep fried foods and stuff like that. Yes, I've lost weight, but one thing that I found with this is that it's not easy to lose weight with Pcos. When I went to a specialist, he pretty much told me, you know, you've just got to lose weight. Just lose weight and the cysts will go. And as much as that is helpful, sometimes you do need to just listen and you need that kind of kick up the backside. Yesterday I had a day where I was just in pain for the whole day. You know, I feel like maybe a cyst had burst or something like that. And when that happens, you do get a lot of pain. So I was in bed the whole day, just laying down. If I was walking, it really hurt. I do need to usually put like hot, like a nice hot compress down just to kind of help ease the pain. I still do at times feel really unmotivated and things like that. And it just, it does take a toll on you, because there's things that you could do and you remember you were able to do before you got the diagnosis, or before you know, had the symptoms, that you can't do anymore. And it's really, really frustrating. There's a lot of times where, like, you know, I'll plan, okay, I'm going to go out tomorrow and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And the day comes and you just don't even want to get out of bed. I was always adventurous. I always loved doing things and stuff like that. But ever since I've had it, things have just really, really slowed down in my life. But I really try to not let it get to me, and I really try to push myself even if I don't feel like doing something. Sometimes I don't even want to get up to make my food, or, you know, exercise, even just get up out of bed. It's hard. So I've just kind of realized that I need to just push myself in order to do these things. And one thing is, even if you, like, for example, with myself, like, I've lost 8 kilos since January, and it's not one of those things where you can just go, okay, I've come to a certain weight, I'm good, I'm just going to keep that weight going and I can still eat what I want, just going to make sure that I'm under my calorie limit. It's not that easy though, because once you kind of stop exercising or stop eating healthy, your body just goes back to gaining weight. And even after you've lost a certain amount of weight, you notice that your weight loss really slows down. And it's really annoying, because like, you do still eat healthy, you do still exercise, but you're not seeing results as quick. I've just got to tell myself, you know, it's slow, but it's happening. There were people that were telling me, you know, oh, you've gained so much weight. And it's like, you have no idea like how hard it is to lose weight, or to even like just try to keep a balanced diet but still gaining weight. It's not that easy. It's not like I'm just sitting there being lazy all day and just eating bad food all day. That's not what happens, and people just assume that that's what you're doing, but it's really not. And there's people that make those judgments. People made those judgments towards me, and they still make those judgments towards me. People don't realize how hard it is to lose the weight and to have like the burden of knowing that things could become really bad, meaning, you know, you could be infertile. So you're trying to do everything you can to make sure these problems don't arise later on. There's people that I know that are trying for babies, but they can't have babies because of their condition. And, you know, then there's people telling you from all angles that you need to lose weight, or this or that, and giving you their advice. And you're just like, I don't need it. I already know everything. People don't really take the time out to understand what Pcos really is. They will throw judgment at you. They will say little comments that just add so much pain and stress to what you're already feeling. And sometimes you just want to scream and just tell them to just shut up. You've got to work 3 times harder than a person without Pcos to lose that weight, because it is so hard. I didn't realize how hard Pcos would be until I really started experiencing these symptoms. I, you know, obviously now know firsthand that Pcos is just something that is not easily manageable. I just wanted people to know that they're not alone, because I really felt like I was alone for a while. But then I started, you know, involving myself in these beautiful communities of women who do suffer from Pcos, and they were completely, you know, the same thinking as me. And I realized it wasn't me just overthinking and stuff like that. Like, it's actually common, and there's a lot of women who talk about it and think about it the same way that I do. From a young age, you get told if you eat healthy and you drink lots of water and stuff like that, you're going to be healthy, and you kind of just assume that you're never going to have any problems. And then later on down the track, you realize even though you are healthy and you exercise and whatnot, you could still get these conditions, or you can get diseases that don't even come from you being unhealthy. It just happens. It was a hard concept to grasp because I was like, I'm not that unhealthy. But you know, later on you do realize these things happen and you just kind of have to accept it. I've been trying to do like a lot of natural forms of healing. I did go to a beautiful friend of mine. She does you know, natural healing, and I did find that ever since then I felt a lot lighter in my stomach area. There's been less bloating, there's been a lot more like a lighter feeling. So I'm going to try and do more of like these natural healing remedies. That's it for today, guys. I hope that you learned something in this video. If you need to talk to someone, I'm here. You can reach out to me through YouTube, leave a comment down below, or you can contact me through my Instagram. Ask me anything you want through the comments down below, and if you have any tips or advice, please let me know also. And I'm going to leave a couple of pages on Instagram that you can follow in the description box below that are just amazing for people with Pcos. It's just a little community, or I should say quite a big community of women that come together and talk about Pcos. Things they post are really just relatable. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're happy, amazing, and positive. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.